Well, hello again, everybody. It's Chris from Rate the Record Podcast, and it's that time of the week again where I don't change my background at all, just use my podcast background. Not only that, but I give you some new music reviews, because that's what we do here on the channel, though we didn't do it last week. No worries, it's fine, we're doing it this week. I'm doing it now. I'm very tired. I have a lot of work to do, but I do want to do this video. I got 3 songs for you, so let's check it out. And of course, I moved slightly off frame, so that way I can put things here. Maybe even here. So first up on the list, we have Big Wreck. Big Wreck, the alternative blues rock band. They are back, and they have a brand new EP out right now called Big Wreck 7.2. I haven't heard 0.1 or 0, but apparently those exist. And the lead single from this brand new EP that just dropped is called Spit It Out, so let's take a listen. So there's a very familiar, acoustic, folky start to the track that you would have heard in, previous Big Wreck songs. The heavier passage of the chorus, though, sounds pretty great, and Ian Thornley still has these very great, clean vocals. Even after all this time, still sounding pretty great. The verses are also really fantastic in this one, too. Very fun, very playful sounding. Each instrument is just so clear, and it's just kind of playing its own way through a really well thought out composition for the song. I don't know how to explain it. Just everything's kind of doing its own thing. It all matches up though. It's just really smart songwriting. There's also a bridge that eventually comes up in this song, and I love how chill it is. It's like the perfect combination of both the verse and chorus. It's brief, but it's a nice touch while it's there. Overall, it's a pretty fun track. This one definitely got a couple of listens just to take everything in. It's not exactly a complex track, but at the same time, you get to hear more subtleties as you go through it again and again and again. So I do recommend this one. Kind of speeding right along through all of these, so let's get through number 2. The band is Service. Spells out service, but they spell it out the actual word like that. They are a rock band from Indianapolis, Indiana, and they just dropped their debut full-length album called Drag Me. So with that said, we're gonna take a look at the album's lead single called Hey. Right from the word go, I'm definitely getting these vibes that this is a very garage rock oriented band, maybe even a little bit indie, but mainly just the noisier garage stuff. And one thing I also really noticed off the top too was that the singer Jilly Wise Simmons really reminds me of Alison Mosshart, and you probably heard her name through bands like The Kills, The Dead Weather with Jack White in that band. And she's in a bunch of other smaller projects too, but still, reminds me a lot of that. I'm a big fan of Alison Mosshart, so that definitely got some points with me. I like her rock swagger style of vocals on what feels like a pretty straightforward rock song composition. The mixing and mastering are a little all over the place on this one. Some parts are definitely louder than others, and the crash cymbals have this higher, much more harsh tone to them, so it actually kind of becomes distracting before too long. This is a pretty energetic track though. I can see this playing very well in a live setting. On an album it works too, but I think this would probably sound better live. Overall, there's nothing really outstanding about the song, unfortunately. Not that it's a bad song, if anything it's rather exciting, but it feels like it's kind of missing something, or it's just not exactly where it could be. If this is truly the band's debut album, then they can only grow from here, and maybe it'll get better by the next album. We will see, I don't know. And finally, for the third and final song on this review, we are going back to high school, ladies and gentlemen, at least if you are my age, because it's time to talk about My Chemical Romance. Didn't think I'd have to say that again forever. But yes, they are indeed back with a brand new song. It's the band's first new material since 2010's Danger Days album. So 12 years is obviously a long time between releasing one thing and releasing the next, so let's see what they got more than a decade later. It starts with some noisy electronic static type sounds that are soon met by these quiet guitars, and even when the verse kicks in, it's still relatively tame. So it's not really as explosive as you would expect a comeback track, especially from a band like this. The explosiveness does come in the chorus though, which sounds heavily compressed, which is really kind of distracting to me. I don't know if it is to anyone else, but it does bother me a little bit. The main vocals also seem kind of buried in the mix. Oddly enough, the background vocals actually sometimes seem louder than the actual forefront vocals. I'm not certain how an issue like that gets overlooked, but apparently it was. The song gets heavier as it goes, so it does at least add to more of the liveliness of the track overall. But once again, I have to bring it back to the production of the song because it is just that distracting and it's honestly kinda crap. once again, everything is just, there's a lot of heavy compression on stuff. The mixing is weird. Just a lot of really questionable production choices, even coming to effects and stuff. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain how this could have passed through the demo phase in the studio, but I mean, here we are, and it really dampened what could have been a decent track. But even with that said, sometimes it just felt like the song didn't know what to do or where to go. 6 minutes was far too long for a song that likely would have been better off being the typical 3.5 or 4 minute type of track. Overall, I gotta say, I'm not that impressed with this one. I mean, they stuck to their guns when it comes to like songwriting and everything like that, so it doesn't sound too different from the things they've done in the past. And if you are an MCR fan, then chances are you might just end up liking this one just because you like the band, but it definitely could have been much better. So those are the 3 songs that I have for you this week, so thank you very much for checking out this video. Sorry we didn't have one last week, you know, life happens, no worries though, but Savannah will be back next week to give you 3 new songs to check out, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be fantastic. But don't forget to let me know what you think of the songs that I chose today down below in the comments, or you can let us know on our social medias, which you can find over at ratetherecord.ca. It's all there, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, any way you want to get in touch with us, even email, ratetherecord.ca, check it out, it's all there. And you know what else is over there? Our link to the Ko-fi page that we have, ko-fi.com/ratetherecord. If you do want to support the channel financially, that's completely optional, but the option is there, and we are working on bonus content to post specifically on Ko-fi, so you might want to get ready for that one. And don't forget about the actual Rate the Record podcast itself, the actual show that this channel is based on. We just had episode 35, Tool's Anima. We just covered that. Great album. It ranked pretty high. How high? I mean, pretty high. You'll have to go ahead and check that out. And of course, I'll tell you to like, subscribe, comment, share, rate, follow, all those great things. Help us build a musical community. But more so right now to subscribe to YouTube, strictly for the reason not only just to subscribe and enjoy our content, but once we hit 100 subscribers on this channel, we are actually doing record giveaways, 1 record a month. For every month we're over 100 subscribers. You want your chance to be a part of that, then you gotta subscribe. It's gonna be really great when we get to do that. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So help us hit 100. We're over halfway there by the time I'm recording this, so hopefully we hit that 100 sooner than later. But yeah, that's all I have for you right now. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Come back next week for Savannah's Picks. Come back on Monday as we do episode 36 of the podcast. Until all of those times, we'll see you next time. So take care, friends.